Hey there! In this video, I'm going to show you how I make this guy. The pattern is for using 2 strands of yarn, and that's going to get you a guy this size. If you use just 1 strand of yarn, you'll get this size. You can follow the same pattern and get either one. So for the dirt, I'm using Big Twist Tweed, and the color is chocolate. I know there's a rumor that Joanne is leaving us, so this one might not be around, but you could use any brown for the dirt. For the pot, we're going to use this, got this ginormous skein of Karen 1 pound, and the color is Dove. And that's gonna have that around for a while. And then for the leaves, I've got I Love This Yarn. It's print series, and this one is called Sage Advice, and that's going to get us this color right here. And then for another complementary color for the leaves, I've got Yarn Bee Rustic Romantic, and this color is olive, and that one is what I used here. For your tools, I'm using a size H 5.0 millimeter, and I might use this size G 4.0 when I'm doing the leaves with especially the I Love This yarn. It's really soft and it's a little slippery. And then I've got a yarn needle, scissors. I'm going to probably use a few stitch markers, and then got some safety eyes. These are 14 millimeter. They actually have, if you can see it, it's a little bit of a highlight, so they're not completely all black. So, oh, and our stuffing. We need our stuffing. I almost always forget the stuffing, so that's it. I think we've got everything we need. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with the dark brown yarn. We're going to work from the bottom up. We need to do 6 single crochet in a ring, and we're going to be working with 2 strands of yarn. So I've got 2 strands of yarn. I'm going to wrap them around my finger like so. I'm going to reach in behind, pull the yarn up, pinch it with my finger and thumb. Just kind of pinch everything so I can swap hands and get my yarn ready there. And then I'm going to just pull that yarn through, and I'm pinching it right here like that. And then I'm just going to stick my fingers in there and work my 6 single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6. In the next round, we're going to do 6 increase, which just means that we're going to do 2 single crochet in each stitch. We should have 6 stitches. So sometimes it's a little difficult to figure out where on here is that first stitch, especially if you're using a darker colored yarn. But what I'll do is I just count backwards, kind of turn it this way. That's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's just going to be the V that we created right here. And sometimes that's a little tight, so I'm going to just kind of put my needle in there, wiggle it around, come back here, grab my yarn, just put it in there, pull it through, And then we're going to do our single crochet. That's our first one, and we're going to go right back into that same hole right there. That's 2. And so then in the next stitch we're going to do 2 more single crochet. There's 1, right back into the same stitch. There's 2, and then our next one is right here. There's 1, 2, and then in our 4th stitch we need 2, 1, 2, and then we have the 5th stitch, 1, 2, and then our last one right here. There's 1, and there's 2. Here I'm going to use a stitch marker, so we'll just go ahead and pull that up, kind of lay it over like that so you can see. My last stitch was right here, so I'm just going to put that in there, clip it, put my hook back in there, and for this next round we're going to do that again. We're just going to do 2 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So now we've got 12 stitches, and we're going to do 2 in each one, so by when we're done we'll have 24. So there's our first one right there. 1, 2 in the first one, 2 in the next. Just keep going around, putting 2 single crochet in each stitch, and I'll meet you at the stitch marker. All right, we're almost here. There's 2 in that one, 2 in that one. Then we're going to have to take our stitch marker out and put 2 in the last one. That little guy back in, our last stitch. And we are ready for round 4, and that is 3 single crochet and an increase. And we're going to repeat that 6 times. So we'll do 1 in that one, 1 in the second one, 1 in the third one, and then in the 4th one we're going to do 2. 2. And then we're going to repeat that 6 times. So 1, 1, 1 for 3, and then 2 in the 4th. Just keep going. 1, 1, 1, and then 2, and I'll meet you around the end. We're ready for our last set. So we should have, there we go. Hard to see sometimes. The darker the yarn, the worse it is. There's 1, 2, and 3. Take out our stitch marker and put 2 in the last one. For the next round we're going to do 30 single crochet, but we're just going to work those in the back loops only. So put this in. Back on. So what that means is our first stitch in the round, you've got a front loop and a back loop. So we're going to go just through the back loop. So we're just going to go through here. We're going to just do the single crochet in each stitch all the way around, just picking up that back loop like so. It can be a bit of a challenge with dark yarn, but it can be done. And the one thing I love about this yarn is it's got this, it looks to me like it really does, definitely has some dirt vibes going with all the little extra little pieces thrown in. Those are part of the yarn. It's really cool. So we're just going in the back loop all the way around. Here we are. So we're going to do that one. We're going to do the one where our stitch marker is. That's our last one. All right, for our next round, we are going to just do 30 single crochet. Nice simple round. That guy back in. And we're going to pick up both the front and the back loop. So we just go right in there. Get the whole stitch, front and back. There's no increase. We're just going to go a single crochet, one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Just keep going. I'll meet you at the stitch marker. Here we are again. Now we are going to get our last stitch there, and now we need to use a stitch marker to mark the back loop of the first stitch of this next round, or this last round that we did. So the way and then we're going to do 29 single crochet in the front loop only for this next round. So I'm going to start with getting just that front loop. I'm not grabbing the back loop. Remember, we have, there's the front loop and there's the back loop. Kind of hard to see. There's the front loop, and if you grabbed it all, that'd be the front and the back loop, but we just want the front loop. So we're going to pull that through and finish off our single crochet, and then in the back loop we're going to add a stitch marker, because those can be really challenging to see when we are getting ready to do the first row of the next color. So we're just going to leave that there for now and work our way around just in the front loops. Oops, try that again. Grab your yarn, pull it through. So just the front loop, not the back loop, just the front. And just work your way around. Until we're back to that stitch marker again. And this is going to be our last round of the brown. Getting close. Okay, so on this one, we're actually going to just do 29 stitches instead of 30. We were doing 30 to get around, and now this one we're just going to do one less, because that last stitch is going to be a slip stitch, just to make it blend a little bit so we can finish off here. So we're just going to go in that front loop still, pull it through, don't yarn over, and then just go ahead and pull it the rest of the way through. Then pull this up. We're going to need, guess we don't need that long a tail. Let's see. About so long. Then we can cut it. And then we can do what I'm calling an invisible join. And we are going to, here's our stitch. I just kind of pull it over here, and then I'm going to go right in there. And then come back to this last stitch right here, just the back loop. And that just kind of, don't pull too tight, and it just kind of makes it, blends it in so you don't have a too bad of a knot there. We're still going to leave the stitch marker in there because we need it for when we get ready to join our next color. And so I'm just going to work this tail down through till I get to the center. Kind of going in the tops of the stitches, not all the way through, but just the tops of the stitches till I get to the center. And then I'm going to tie these together. Doesn't have to be, that one can be kind of loose, but then this one I go a little bit tighter, and then that secures our ends. And then we're just going to, we don't have to weave them in because they're just going to be hidden in the little swing there. So we're ready for our pot. So we're going to change colors to our dove. I'm just going to do a slip knot. So now we can make sure we know where our stitch is. So we have, just so you know, just so you can see, when we did our front loops on, we created this little ridge right here of stitches, and that's where we're going to go in to each one of those with our new color. So we're just going to slide it right under there. All right, sun's fighting. All right, here we go. Now we can just grab our yarn, pull it up, and finish our single crochet. And then we just go around in that little ridge, and we're going to need 11 of these single crochet, counting that first one. So there's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, the next stitch, we're going to do this little bobble stitch. It's going to give us a little puff. So we are going to yarn over, insert our hook in the stitch, pull the yarn through. We're going to yarn over again, pull it through 2 on the hook. So let's do that again. Yarn over, go through the stitch, pull it back through, and see you have, we're gonna call this 3 loops. It's double strand, but there's really 6, but just go with me here. We're gonna call that 3 loops, and then we're gonna pull our yarn through 2 of those loops, like so. So now we have 2 of them on our hook. We're gonna do that again. So yarn over, go through our stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through. So now we have 4 on our hook. We're just going to pull it through 2 of them. Now we have 3. So we're going to do that one more time. Yarn over, go through, come back up. We got 5 on there. We just want to go through 2 of them. So when we're done, we have 4 on our 4 loops left. So we're going to go and grab that yarn and pull it through all 4 of those. So now we want to kind of tighten that up a little bit, poof it out. And we're going to go into the next stitch with a single crochet. And when you do that, kind of keep your tension tight and even go wiggle it back and forth a little bit and tug here, and tighten it up just a little bit. That's going to give it better definition. So that, and then we're going to do 5 single crochet. This was our first one. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still working in that ridge. And then we're going to do one more of those bobble stitches. So yarn over, go through the stitch, pull the yarn back through, yarn over, just pull it through 2 of those sets of loops, yarn over again, go through, pull it back through, go through 2 of them, yarn over, through, pull it back through, pull it through 2. And then when you're done with that, you've got 4 loops on your hook. And you gotta pull, yarn over and pull it through all 4. And then we're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch. Just going to anchor our little bobble stitch, tighten it up, wiggle back and forth. We got our 2 little paws. Then we need to do 12 single crochet to finish off the round. There's 1, 2, 3, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just make sure 3, 6, 3, 6, 9, 11. Okay, I need 1 more, and that's going to be this guy sticking up right here. Now we need to join. We're going to join with a slip stitch. This is our first single crochet right there. So we're going to go right in there, yarn over, pull it through, but then we're just going to keep right on pulling through. Now we need to do a chain, so we'll just do a yarn over and pull it through. Now for the next few rounds, we're actually going to be doing our first single crochet of each row in the same stitch where our chain is. So here's our chain, and here's where we're going to put our first stitch. So this next round, we're just going to do a single crochet in each stitch. So there's our first one. And we're just going to work our way around till we get back to our little lump there. So I want to show you. This is the last stitch. We're going to have this, looks like a stitch, but we don't want to use that one. We don't want to use that one because we're going to come over here to the top of this round, last stitch, first stitch in this last round. We're going to go in there. We're doing a slip stitch. Just pull it through, and then we do a chain one, and we tied it all together. So you can kind of see how it's all stacked up nice and neat. And that is we're gonna have that stacked all the way up. So remember, we're gonna go into our first stitch in this next round is going to share the same stitch where our chain is. So we're just going to go right in there, do a single crochet, and then we do this round. I believe is another round with single crochet all the way around, just one stitch in each, one single crochet in each stitch. So meet you around at the end. All right, here we are again. So we need one in this one. And then for this one is the one where we reach over, do a slip stitch, and then a chain one. And we are ready for the next round where we have the little bobble stitch. And so for this one, we want to do 9 single crochet. So remember, your first single crochet goes in the same stitch with your chain. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're going to do that bobble stitch again. So walk through it kind of slowly, but a little quicker than the first time. So you're going to yarn over, go through your stitch, pull the yarn through, yarn through 2 loops on the hook, which is really 4, but you know, yarn over, go through the stitch, pull it back through, and then we're just going to go through 2 of those on our hook. We're going to yarn over again, go through, yarn through, and now we have 4 on our hook. Pull it through all 4, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the next one. And when we do, we're just going to pop that out with our finger, tighten that up, wiggle it. And now we need to do 9 in between. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope this bobble stitch isn't completely throwing everyone. 1 more. Yarn over, go through, yarn, pull your yarn through, and then we're just going to pull it through 2 on our hook, and then we're going to yarn over, go back in, yarn through, pull it up, go through 2, yarn over, through the stitch, pull it through, go through 2, and then we have 4. Yarn over and pull it through all 4. And then we do our little single crochet to anchor it in the next stitch. push it out with your finger, tighten it up, and that was 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that is enough of that bobble nonsense. But it'll be worth it. It is so cute. All right. Now we're ready to join at the top of our chain. So we're here and we need to join at the top of this one. Got that one a little tight, so we'll get in there. All right. We're just doing a slip stitch. And then we're doing a chain. We're going to do a single crochet in that same stitch. So we're right back in there. That's our first single crochet of the next round. And that is going to be, we are going to do 2 rounds of just 30 single crochet. So 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. We're meeting back up again with our last row. Right on top of here. Do our slip stitch, our chain. All right, and then this row is pretty easy because all we're going to do is a single crochet in each stitch. Nothing fancy. Let's work our way around till we get to the end. All right, here we are once again. All right, we're gonna come over here, slip stitch, chain 1. Now this round we need to do a decrease, so we're going to do 3 single crochet and then our decrease, which just means we're going to take 2 stitches and put them together. So we're going to go back into our first stitch and do our single crochet to start with, and then we need 2 more, so there's 2 and 1 in the next one, so we got 1 in each stitch. Now we're going to take the front loop of the next stitch to start our decrease, and then we're going to take your hook, put it through both of the next stitch, pull your yarn up, and pull it through all 3. Let's try that one more time. We're just going to go in the front loops, and then we're going to go into the front loops of that stitch, go into the both loops of the next stitch, pull our yarn up, and we've got 3 on our hook. I'm going to pull it through all 3. And a single in the next one, single in the next, single in the next, and we're going to do our decrease again. So we're just going to go through the front loop of the next stitch, and then both loops of the next stitch, grab our yarn, pull it up, pull our yarn through all 3, and that binds 2 stitches together, so that gives us our decrease. We're going to do 1, 1, and 1, and then we do our decrease again. We're going to do that decrease 6 times in this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then we do that decrease. Ta-da! There's 1, 2, 3. Then we do our decrease. There's 1, 2, 3, and we got room for one more decrease. Now we are going to finish off this row. So we're going to go in here, do our slip stitch, slip, do our chain, and now we're going to do a round of single crochet in the front loop only. We're going to go ahead and do our first one here. Do the single crochet in the front loop only, and then we have our back loop back here. And so I'm going to take my stitch marker and I'm going to put it in the back loop right behind my front loop, the stitch that I just did. And that's just so I know where that round of stitches is for later when we're sewing in our dirt. And so instead of going through both, we're just going to go through the front loop like so. And we finish our single crochet, and we're just going to do the front loop only. See? And then we're creating this little ridge right there. Going in our front loops. And then we have our slip stitch, chain 1 to join. So we're coming over here, do a slip stitch, and then chain 1. And for our trim, we're going to do a slip stitch, chain 1, which is a fun little, one of my favorite, simplest edges. Gives it a nice, neat edge. So we're going to go in both of our, both the front and the back loop. You're going to grab it and just do a slip stitch. So just pull it on through. Then we're going to do a chain. We're going to the next one, do a slip stitch. Just pull it through. And then do a chain. Down through. Pull our yarn up. Pull it through. Chain. We're just going to do that all the way around. Last one, and then we're going to pull up tail about so long, snip, we're going to do our best to do like an invisible join here so we don't have a lumpy knot. So I just kind of pull that tight. Pull it over so I can see where the next knot should be. That next stitch is right about here. Put it in there. Go through the whole stitch, and then we're just going to go through the back loops of the previous one, our last one there. Then, voila. Now we're going to leave our stitch marker in there for now, because we're going to come back and do our sew our dirt in there. So I'm just going to run this tail right down. Don't pull it too tight. I'm going to meet up with this guy. That's good enough. Pull that out. And then there's our beginning and there's our end. Just going to tie them together like I did with the brown, dark brown. There we go. Now our stitch markers right there, and it's pretty obvious where we got this little ridge right here, and that's where our dirt's gonna go. So if you are comfortable and you can see that little ridge right there, go ahead and take your stitch marker out. We're gonna make our dirt circle, and then we're gonna sew our dirt circle right around in those loops. So now would be a great time to stop and have some coffee.